All right, all right, all right. Good morning, everybody. How are you? Look, on time and no technical issues. This is a win-win. I already feel like I'm ahead for the day, so okay, we can all quit and go home. Hope everybody's good. Thank you for being in here. I see everyday opportunity. I appreciate you being here, bud. EMR Coins is in the house, so thank you very much for being here. Today we have should be a fun discussion topic. This is something that's been out. Jackalope, what's up, brother? How you doing? Thank you for being here. Glad to see you in here. Dave's not here, man. How you doing, David? Thank you for being in here. Appreciate you being here today. Like I said, it should be a lot of fun. We're going to be talking about something that has come out. They've gone through a couple iterations, a couple different cycles. And if you've seen the title of the video or the live stream today, we're going to be talking about the Vault Box Series 3. Now that they've come out and people are starting to throw up YouTube videos, starting to talk about what they've got. EMR, thanks for coming back. Appreciate you being in the stream this morning. And how are you? I haven't talked yet. I need to stop in and visit your channel. I was going to come in the other day and play bingo and then got sidetracked with my wife and my son and just totally forgot to come back. I need to come over and say hi. I apologize for being a ghost on your channel. I'll make sure to pop back in. EMR Coins, what program are you using? There's a couple different ways to do it. There's a really down and easy way utilizing something like Microsoft Word, where you have the options to like hide backgrounds on photos and things like that. And then you can just utilize different pictures, put it in Word and do it that way. Or you can use things like Canva, where you have thumbnail generators that allow you to do that. So yeah, thumbnails are really important. The best suggestion, the best advice, and you didn't ask for this, but the best advice that I can give you is go look at, the top 20, top 30 videos that are out there and look at what they have in common. See their commonplace items, see what they do. Look at the details page, right? Look at the descriptions page and see what kind of tags they're using. That's a good thing to do whenever you're doing thumbnails. It'll help inform you on what you should be looking at when you build yours. But good luck in that one. I appreciate you working to improve channel and things like that, because that's something that I'm working on. I think I have a little bit better quality on my camera. I still have a little bit of ghosting here along the chair that I need to figure out how to do. Slowly streamlining my stream, making it a little bit better, but should be good. Chappie, what's up, brother? I hope you're doing well. Thanks for coming in. Really do appreciate you being here. But again, as I stated, today we're going to be talking about the new Series 3 Vault Box. Now, the new Series 3 Vault Box is something that, hey, Navistar, thanks for coming in. Mix between Photoscape and Canva. That's what I'm working on exactly for ideas. Yeah, that's good. There's so many things that you can do. Canva is a really good tool, and if you have some experience utilizing Photoscape, then you can generate some really cool things. I would like to get a little bit more. Thanks, EMR. I appreciate it. I would like to get a little bit more in depth into the lighting component and getting, especially my shorts. My short videos suck. The quality is horrible. I need to work on them. But right now it's more about quality improvement. I'm trying to get quantity down, trying to post a lot, especially as I prepare for eye surgery. I'm trying to build, so you're going to see tons and tons of shorts coming from me over the course of the next 3 weeks. So, but I'm going to continue to work on improving quality. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate seeing the quality and stuff improve. Um, yeah, Nava Star. I like that emoji. That's pretty cool. Pun totally intended. But again, we're going to be talking about the Vault Box. Now, Vault Box came out. I like, yeah, it's okay. This is what the beginning of this is for. We just chit chat anyway. Now that the Vault Box has come out, there are people posting community pages, there are people posting videos, they're doing unboxings, and starting to get enough information to kind of just have the discussion. Now, I'm going to lay a couple things out to begin with. Okay, I am neither for nor against this idea. I have concerns about it, but there are things that I have seen as far as improvement that I want to take note of, that I appreciate that is happening. Will I buy one? No. No. Because when you look at it, you're looking at probably 85% of the people who get one are going to be at a loss. My money is important to me. If I'm going to mess around and play games and do stuff like that, I understand what the odds are. I understand, hey, be safe, me. No worries. I appreciate it. You keep processing those goods from port to port and take care of yourself. Eyes on the road, brother. Keep that. We want to get you to that 2 million mile safe driving mark. For those of you that don't know him, he's a truck driver and he passed 1 million miles without an accident. It's a good accomplishment. Received an award, so congratulations to him for that award. But want to keep him safe and keep his eyes on the road. But appreciate you listening. The other thing is, I'm not a financial advisor. I am not an attorney. I'm not a lawyer. I'm going to be talking about some processes from a process improvement standpoint. I'm going to be looking at some variability between what is called gambling and I think what they're doing here. There's going to be some commonalities between the two. They attribute this to kind of like getting another genre of people interested in coins collecting. And this is also going to play into a little bit about what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow, which is why numismatics are still one of the best things to collect if you're going to be collecting, especially over things like artwork. And then we're going to be talking about a recent release of a hoard that's going to be coming up on auction. So stay tuned tomorrow for that. I think that's going to be a lot of fun storytelling in that particular session. So tomorrow should be good as well. But let's go ahead and get to it. So I just let everybody know right now that I am going to be sharing my screen. So I will not be able to read chat very well. It's in the bottom right-hand corner of my screen. It's way too small. And so just be aware that I will not be able to see that. But what I am going to be doing is I'm going to be showing my screen, and I'm actually going to be showing the Vault Box website. Now, the only reason I'm not going to be talking about it, but I want this thing to play over and over and over again, because I want to look at some of the variables that they're discussing here, right? Introducing Vault Box, right? A new way for collectors to enjoy the experience and the excitement of collecting coins. Well, let's talk about the potential misnomer of that, okay? There are some good things and bad things. Now, we all know when people come into the hobby, the first few instances of them coming in, they're excited about it, they found out about it, or maybe they come in, they know nothing about it, they're clueless about it, and they come into the hobby and they need a good first experience, or a good first 2 or 3 experiences. And if their first experience is Vault Box, and they spend $229 on a Vault Box. Aunt Laura, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. And they spend $229 and they go through the headache. Now, I do have on good authority that they are working on their checkout process. Okay, that they are working to streamline that. They know it's a headache. You go in with normal hair, you come out looking gray like me. But they are continuing to work with that. But when you're looking at getting people excited or getting people into this, if they purchase their first coin and they lose $150, do you think they're likely to do that again? Do you think they're likely to kind of go that route again? Because they're going to be like, man, this dude recommended this and I bought it thinking I was going to get a chance at a decent coin, and I got a coin that's worth $90. I lost $125. Do you think that's really a good way to target getting new people into the hobby? No, I don't. In fact, I think it's one of the worst possible things you could do for a new numismaticist, right? I don't think it's a good idea. Now, for people that have been around a while, or people who like to gamble or take chances, people who enjoy games of chance, absolutely. But I don't think that this is a really good thing for people who are coming into the hobby that are coming in new. I do not think that it's a really good idea for people who are coming in and saying, you know, I really want to learn about this, and then coming in and having Vault Box be their first experience. I really would shy away from that. I don't think it's a good recommendation. I do not believe that we are doing a service to people who are coming into the hobby as new numaticists. I just don't. Now, somebody has been around for a little while. I got to drink my coffee because my throat's a little dry. For those of you that don't know, we're dealing with African dust again. And it has done a number on me. So I apologize for that. Anyway, I don't think it's a great idea to start with. Now, I'm going to go ahead and jump on another one, okay? To experience the excitement of collecting coins. Now, let's shift that and say for somebody who's already been in. Now, if somebody's looking for a way to spice some things up, and hey, you know, this is fun, check this out, this could be really cool, there's an opportunity to get a nice coin, then sure, not a problem, right? No big deal. But there's a couple things that you need to be aware of beforehand. Number one, you need to expect the fact that you're probably going to lose between $80 and $120 by buying one of these. It's just the facts, right? You look at the variability in coins. Now, I've watched probably 10 videos of these unboxings, and as I've looked through these, I've seen a couple people get excited about the coin that they're getting. Now, not about the price of the coin, but about the coin itself they're getting. And I want to point out one that I watched last night from Blue Ridge Silverhound. Now, Blue Ridge Silverhound opened one up, and he opened a coin up. It was a nickel, and it was like a 1940 with a 39 reverse or something like that. And when he opened it up, he was like, oh, this is really cool. Now, the coin itself was only worth about 85, maybe 95 bucks. Okay, so he took a loss of about $110 to $120. Maybe even more, right? Because there's going to be some intrinsic value that's going to be there because of the new design of the box and things like that. But he was excited about having the particular coin. Now, in that fashion, in that shape, if you're looking at a win, it's like, I'm going to be looking at the coin, and you're going to be happy with that, then okay, it's good for you, not a problem. But if you get a 1995 double die, and you already have 2 or 3 in MS 63, 64, 65, right? And you get one in MS 61, and it's a type C. It's a late stage. It's got the die crack in the head. It's got the die chip on the first column. And you're like, oh, I already have a better version of this. Then is that $80 coin of value to you? Does it matter to you? And the answer is no. So it is a gamble, right? And we know this. And if you're willing to see this, you're willing to look at this and understand that, then, you know, hey, Okay, whatever. But you got to go into this understanding that you're most likely going to be losing money. And if you're okay with that, you're okay with that. Now, this leads me to my next point on this particular front, and that is odds. What are the odds? Now, I haven't been able to find anything, and I'll be the first to say I probably haven't dug as deep on this topic as I should have to prepare myself for this particular talk. But I have not been able to find how many total were released. So if anybody has this information in chat, please put it in there because I haven't been able to find it. I want to know, and they have the list. Okay, I will say this. NGC has the lists. They know how many of what coin they've put out. They know how many of what type. They know that they know all of this. I haven't seen those lists. So if this is listed somewhere, share it with me because I want to make sure that the information that I'm giving you now, again, this is commentary. I'm talking about the things that I've seen and the things that I've heard and looking at it. I have not bought one. Disclaimer, bottom line up front. I have not bought one of these. I cannot speak of experience. And for me, it wasn't worth the value. If I'm going to be spending $229 on something, I'm going to buy a 10th ounce of gold. I'm going to buy me a seeded quarter. I'm going to upgrade one of my Buffalo nickels. I'm going to invest in a low-grade 1931S Lincoln cent, right? So I'm going to take and utilize that money for something that I need for my personal collection. Now, do I like to gamble? Yes, but if I'm going to gamble, I like to understand the odds of the things that I'm looking against. So number one, what are the odds of winning in Vault Box? Well, there are 6 or 7 really nice coins. You have the opportunity, but if there's 50,000 of these, then what are your odds? I don't know. Because when everybody gets them and you open them, what happens to your odds? They sink, they plummet, okay? It's not like doing the lottery. It's not like going to Vegas and playing cards on the table. It's not like even utilizing the slot machines, right? Because they have known payouts. They have certain payouts in that they need to do. Now, slot machines are a game of chance because every event is a brand new circumstance. So you can't really ever say like, you know, hey, this machine is hot because it's not. Machines will get on a run and they'll go off a run, but every one of those pools is independent. Whereas when you're looking at a limited number of these coins in this particular fashion, when one gets pulled out, the numbers change. The odds now decrease. So your likelihood of getting that doesn't increase. It actually decreases because you have other people that have opened them. There are people who are not selling or not opening and not sharing the information. Okay. Well, what happens if in the first week, everybody who opens one, or what, let me rephrase that. What happens in the first week if the people who open them open the top 6, right? All the big ones come out like the first 3 days that they were there. What is the value of the resale of those boxes? Are they any good anymore? Well, they're still collector's items, right? They still have an inherent value because the slab is different. They say vault box on them. There's another type of collectability factor in these particular coins. But what happens to the overall value of the vault box once all of them are found? Does it plummet? Right? Does it do diligence for somebody not to release the fact that they've bought one? Is that twisting the market? Is it market manipulation? Right? And so there's some variabilities that are far outside of our control, and it puts it in the hands of the people who actually win. So there's an opportunity to manipulate that particular item. I have issue with that. It's too much power for one person to have. And I am not, and again, please understand that when I do this, I'm not for or against NGC. I'm not for or against PCGS. I'm not for or against ANAX. They are companies that do a service, and that's all they are to me. I don't know the people personally. I don't know their business strategies personally, but I can tell you this: they're dealing with federal money. They are not going to be gaming the system. These would be federal crimes. They're not going to do that. So I don't expect that it would be NGC, but it's the people who would get those coins from NGC that would manipulate the market. And I think it's too easy to do in this case. Now you have to talk about the collectability factor. Is this something that is good? Is this something that's going to maintain its value? Now the coin itself, the numismatic value of the coin itself, yes, right? Now this is one thing that I do like about this, is because just like I was talking about with Sean from Blue Ridge, Sean Blue Ridge, actually getting a coin that he was happy about. Actually got two coins he was looking at, 1890S Morgan, he was also very happy about. And that one, while it didn't fetch the full amount, he only lost like $50 on the coin, but he didn't have one in his stack. He was very happy with the two boxes that he opened. It was good to see. Whereas I watched Minot Coin, I watched their opening, and they were a little less lackadaisical. They were like, it wasn't really good. You know, I didn't lose that much money. The coins are okay. Here's the resale value. Here's what the gray sheet is. It was kind of just a matter of fact, nonchalant. They weren't really excited about the coins because there really wasn't something there of intrinsic value. Did it mean that it was any more or any less valuable? My opinion, yeah, it was less valuable to Minot than it was for Blue Ridge Silverhound, because there was a factor that these coins were going into their personal collections. In that regard, you're 1 for 1 in collectability, but from a business standpoint, I don't think it was very good. The next one. So I want to talk about the one to discover fun and interesting coins. Okay, I don't think Vault Box is the way to do that. In fact, I think it's probably the worst thing that you can do. Again, looking from a new hobbyist, I think it's a really bad idea. Now, they utilize this. Let's get the coin collecting community and let's get the card collecting communities, and let's merge them together and bring together a product, you know, because they do this with cards all the time, right? You get the little foil packs, you open them up. Most of the time you're going to get junk. Hey, Perplexed Mind, how you doing? Thanks for coming in. Coin Crew, thank you for being here. Miss Coin Crew, appreciate you being here. But when we're looking at these particular items, when we're looking at these particular strategies, you know, I don't think that they're targeted towards the new numaticist. I don't think that they're something that is of value. I do not believe that they should be utilizing this as a strategy to target the new folks. This is my commentary on this, okay? I just don't think that it's a good idea. Because from my vantage point, okay, finding new ways to experience the excitement of collecting coins, finding new and exciting ways to discover new coins. There's a lot of cool things that we can do to discover new coins. Okay, I'm going to go back to Live Coin Q&A. Monday evenings, Live Coin Q&A does their thing where they talk about people who are doing coin hunts, and they're looking for things, and they're looking through different coins, and they're identifying things. And people send in and say, hey, did I find something really cool? Right? People who watch that get information and insight on what to look for. They get good quality information and education on those things that you need to be looking for. Right? They learn that you can find a really nice coin in your pocket change, like genuinely in your pocket change. They find out that you can get rolls of coins, and you can actually go through and look through the rolls of coins, and you can actually come across some really cool repunch mint marks or varieties, right? They talk about the mint and understanding the minting process and looking at things of that nature. These are the things that we need to utilize to the new numaticist on how to get them excited and how to get them engaged. Make it possible for them to be able to identify and find the items themselves. Vault Box, yeah, you pay $229 for something that you may not get something decent out of. Now, when I say decent, I'm not talking about a graded coin. I'm talking about something of real numismatic value that is both collectible, right? Something that you want to maintain for the long haul, but something that is also going to spark the minds of interest, even if it's a loss. This is why seeing the video from Sean was so cool, because he was genuinely excited about the 2 coins that he got. I didn't see very much of that at all in Series 1 and Series 2. Matter of fact, after Series 2, I was vehemently against Vault Bucks. I think it was one of the worst things you could do for a numismaticist. I think it was a hardcore gamble. The odds were terribly low. People were losing $300, $400, $500 per box. I think it was atrocious. It was a total slam to NGC and actually turned me off of NGC. So looking at what they've done to improve from Series 2 to Series 3, I definitely think they've done some really good things. But I do not believe that they should be targeting the new hobbyist. I don't think that this should be a marketing scheme. I think they need to shift that away. Now, can they still utilize the same strategy? Yes, but turn it towards, if they want to use card collectors, they want to do it because it's like that. Hey, this is another method. You're already used to doing it. It just happens to be with coins. Okay, that's fine. But don't be targeting the new person, right? Because you're going to end up turning people off from the hobby. And we want to build this hobby. We want to maintain people. We want people to come in. This is an amazing community of folks. We don't want to tarnish our name, right? So we need the companies that have that power, the influencers in our society, to help us with that and help us identify. There's a lot of different ways of identifying cool coins and getting people excited about things to than doing this vol box. Okay, now this is fun. To have box breaking fun with precious metals. I have zero issue with that statement, right? To experience the excitement of collecting coins we just talked about. This next one is another one that I kind of like. To discover new passions. Great if you're a gambler. Okay, great if you're into games of chance. But I can't see people coming on as a passion when you're losing $80, $100, $130 every time you open a box, just for the risk reward of potentially getting something. I just don't see that. So I think the new passions, I think it's a really bad idea. Discover fun and interesting things about coins. I think it's a misnomer. You get instant value. Well, I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that. I think that you have the potential to get instant value if you're lucky. But you've already spent $229. If you get a coin that's worth $80, it is not instant value. I don't agree with that. I don't accept that. So when I'm talking, again, this is where I want to be careful, because I'm not talking ill of NGC. If NGC has anybody who ever wants to pop in, and please watch the video, look at it, understand what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to get at is this. Your marketing is misleading, in my opinion. Okay, in my opinion. It's targeting the wrong people. Okay, it does 2 things. And this is Frostbite talking. This is nobody else. Okay? It targets people with gambling addictions, right? It opens up the economy for people who do market manipulation. It opens the opportunity for people to utilize something to sell at a much, much greater value. Some of these boxes you can already see them on eBay for $100, $200 more. So now somebody is like, man, I really want to get one of these. Fear of missing out, right? At FOMO. Everybody knows what FOMO is. FOMO is fear of missing out. If you don't know what FOMO is, research it. It's an important thing to understand, right? Having to be on, competing with the Joneses. I think that it's that knee-jerk reaction. A great example of this comes with error coins. When the first error coins come out, right? Looking at the non-double die on the quarter with the biplane, or that had the EC, right? The increase doubling. Man, some of those people were spending hundreds of dollars up front, and now those coins are $4 or $5. Right? They're a dime a dozen. People found out that they weren't whatever they were. You're running into the same potential situation here. It's going to be a quick money grab, but is the long-term investment going to be something of benefit? Now, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stop sharing this particular item, and I'm going to go ahead and go back to the Vault Box series box, because we've seen that a couple hundred times. So I'm just going to leave this here and just kind of talk about this. Now, I've talked about some of the negatives. I've talked about some potential strategies that they've utilized and implemented that I don't agree with. I'm going to talk about some of the positives, okay? I like the fact that they're bringing a sense of excitement to potentially the coin world, right? So if you are a seasoned numaticist and you have a good collection and you enjoy playing games of chance, okay, and you enjoy looking at these types of things, if you have the money, you have the time, and you're okay with taking the acceptable loss, I think it could be fun. Like getting a grab bag, or going to somebody's channel where they offer mystery packs where you spend, $150 and you may get $85 or you may get $160, but the values are pretty close. Do that. If that's what you enjoy, do it, right? If that's the thing that you like, then get on that, right? But I'm going to go ahead and kind of come over here. Yeah, so we'll talk about that, See Happy Chappy, here in just a minute, okay? There are some things about this particular series that I liked the changes that they've done. Number one, the price point is way, way, way lower, right? Vault Box 1, Vault Box 2, yeah, you got a couple coins. However, at $600 and $800, it was just absurd. I like the single box 229. It's a little bit better to stomach in that regard. I do like the fact that they changed that. I do like the fact that they changed the way that they look at that. And it's one of those things where they're making adjustments as they go. They're trying to improve the process. So I have to give them kudos for that. I do have to say that I think that NGC is taking feedback that they've received from people during this time frame, and they're trying to make improvements, and they're trying to improve the strategies and way that they do things so that they're providing a little bit better quality while still adding the aura of excitement. So I'm going to give them credit where credit is due, because they are making changes that are going to keep people from losing a bunch of money. Brother Rat, thanks for coming in. Appreciate you being here. Now, there are some things that I will say, and See Happy Chappy just mentioned it just a moment ago. If you look at the slab design, now, Sean talked about this in his video. My Not Coins talked about it in his video. I've seen 3 or 4 other ones where they talk about the slab. The slab is nice. It's that dark, it's got that really kind of translucent center disc, and then you have the coin itself. The label's very nice. It does have the vault box on there. It gives you the serial number and then talks about the specific coin. Gives a little bit more detail in some of the coins that I think you would see on some of the standard NGC labels. So I really, really like, okay, but it's still coming from NGC, right? It's a subsidiary, isn't it? Or is it totally different? Are they just utilizing NGC as the grading? Because I was under my understanding was that this was a primary partnership with NGC, and that this is a proprietary thing with NGC. You're not going to see things in the vault box that come from PCGS. So this is a partnership with them. So Okay, so it's just them grading the coins. Okay. Again, okay, so that's I've been very clear. I don't claim to be a know-it-all on this particular topic. I'm just here to have the discussion. So thanks, Paula. She's always good about and packages them. Okay. I like the slabs. I like the look of the slabs. I like the way that they're set up. I like the way that they're structured. Paul is brilliant. Yeah, that's true. And whenever she tells me I'm wrong, I listen to it because she knows far more than I do. And if I was ever to say somebody was trying to learn in the hobby and then knocked somebody who tried to help them and give them correct information, then they definitely don't want to learn. So I appreciate any correction that I get. So much so that I make sure that I announce it every chance I get, because it's important to, if you're wrong, it's important to be told that you're wrong. Well, good luck. I hope you get a good one. Do a video on it. Let us know. Hopefully you get one that comes close to meeting the value. So far, the ones that I've seen, values range gray sheet between $75 and $100, $110. Resale value probably 100 to 130. I've only seen 3 or 4 coins in the set sell above like 160, 170. The one that Sean showed is probably one of the higher value ones that I've seen so far. At I think it was like $185, which is still a $50 loss. Now, a $50 loss on a coin, we do that stuff all the time in auctions. But in that regard, we're supporting a local channel and somebody that we appreciate. I'm not doing a good coin unless I get a good video. No, you should do one anyway, and talk about why you purchased it, why you were willing to take a chance on that, why you're not keeping it unopened to increase the value. Because again, this is another thing that I wanted to bring into the discussion was, if somebody doesn't open one, or let's say that they do open it and it's a really good coin, but they choose not to share it with anybody, does that artificially make people think that there's still potentially one out there? So those ones that are going to be going out there, they're going to be able to sell for more? Yeah, I know there's a premium on those because the slabs are nice, and they're going to continue to increase in value. But that brings me to another point. This is something that Sean talked about in his video, is there's going to be ones that there's going to be limited runs on these. Many of these coins are going to be 1 of 1s or 1 of 2s or 1 of 3s. So they're looking at getting those. Well, what happens if you happen to have one that they have as a 1 of 1 that is in this slab, and then the other one is a nicer grade? Are they going to have to adjust the grading for this particular one to be less? Or is this one still going to command a higher price because it's in this special slab? Now, we all know the old slab types. I don't have any slabs up here with me right now, but the old white ones that they had from PCGS, they command a premium because they're old. The old rattlers, I think, is what they were called. When you get one, a coin in that particular slab, they do become more valuable. But what I see is another counterfeiting opportunity for people to come in, and because a lot of people are going to be seeing these, but they're going to be seeing them on videos. A lot of people aren't going to have these in hand. So it's going to be much harder for people to identify which one of these is authentic and which one is not. I think there's going to be some serious issues because of these special slabs that are, unless people are very clear. I think what would be good for people to do, I think this would be really good for live coin Q&A to do, is to do a session on what exactly do these slabs look like, right? Because we need to inform and educate people, because I can see really, really quickly that somebody buys a couple of these, they understand the general premise of it, they make a couple slight adjustments so it's not counterfeiting, it's forgery, and then they submit that information, and they start sending out counterfeit coins. Most of the general population are not going to have seen these yet. They're going to see videos of them, but they're not going to know if it's authentic. They're not going to know if it's real. So I think it would be very important for people who get these coin shops and so on and so forth to really show, oh, that would be cool. That would be really cool. Because I think that it's important for people to be informed. I think it's important for people to be aware of what's going on within this particular set, because we need to protect themselves, right? We need to protect those who are either new to the hobby that are getting in, because as I said, they're targeting this towards new people, trying to bring people into the hobby through something that's different. And while I don't necessarily disagree with the process or the premise, I don't think it should be targeted to new people. And I think we open ourselves up to a gamut of counterfeiting or forgery or fakes because the general populace is not going to know what they look like. This is kind of why I wanted to talk about this. Now, am I against this? Not at all. If this is something that you want to do, do it. I have much less issue with the Vault Box Series 3 than I did 1 or 2. I was vehemently against Vault Box 2. I thought it was crooked. I thought it was it was thievery. My bottom line, it was thievery because it was hundreds and hundreds of dollars. I watched Big Flip open up 2 of his sets, and he lost a total of like $600 between 2 of them. That's thievery, right? It's not worth it. It's not conducive to it. I do not think that this is a good idea on certain fronts. And education, information, dissemination, sharing the information, making sure people understand what they need to be looking for. What is an authentic vault box? Who's to stop somebody from getting one of these vault boxes, these Series 3, and just throwing another slab in there, right? I see all sorts of issues when it comes to the reselling of these particular items, especially when you're talking about some of the newer ones being sold for $100, $200, even $300 over their normal sell price. I think we need to keep people aware of what's going on and protect them. So I think that's our call in doing this from a numismatic community. I think it's our responsibility to understand and learn as much as we can about what is the authentic component of this and what's not. Okay, because I see something that could be that can potentially be problematic. And where you're looking at, so C Happy Chappy said the ASC is the most counterfeited coin out there. Actually, it's not. The top 10 counterfeits are actually cents and gold coins. You look at the 1909 SVDB is the #1 most counterfeited. 1914D is right up there as well. 31S, 22 no D. And then you look at the $2, $5 gold coins, right? The 1911, the 1914. Those are the top counterfeited coins, even amongst ASCs. Now, ASCs are very counterfeited. They are. But when you're looking at counterfeited coins, slabbing is a big component of that. And counterfeit slabs, fetch a premium over a regular ungraded raw coin. So when you're looking at these particular ones, you're looking at seeing silver. I'm saying, okay, well, you got Morgan dollars and stuff like that as well. I do understand what you're talking about as far as ASCs. There is a definite problem with counterfeiting ASCs. That is absolute truth. But again, it's not the most counterfeited coin. I just want to be clear on that. Phoenix, yeah. Hey, Anna, how you doing? A lot of people don't have the capability to do that. You know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna raise a BS flag. I don't agree with that at all. There are too many social media fronts. If you have $229 to spend on a Vault box, you have Instagram, you have social media, you have Twitter, you have Facebook, you have YouTube. They may not have a YouTube presence. You may not have a YouTube presence, but you have a Twitch. You have different presences where you can share that information. It's going to get out, right? Social media is connected. We're all interconnected with social media. I don't agree with that, Phoenix, at all. Now, it may not be a YouTube present. We may not see the item in YouTube for a while. But if it's done on TikTok and it goes to Twitch and then it goes to Facebook and then it comes to YouTube, it will eventually end up on YouTube. So I think people will do that. People have access to all sorts of social media. There's Discord and media streams and chats and things of that nature. So, people text. If somebody texts it to a friend and they send a picture to a friend and their friend uploads it on social media, it's going to be there. So I do not agree with that. I think that if somebody's going to hide it, they're going to be hiding it for a purpose. They're going to be putting it aside. They're going to be setting it aside for a specific reason. And that reason is going to be to prevent other people from understanding that that coin has been into the market. And because of doing so, the other ones that are out there are going to continue to fetch a high premium. This is one of the negative components. This is why I'm like, well, if you're going to buy one up front. But you just be aware that if you buy one later in the run, there's a high likelihood you risk losing a lot more money. Now, again, to go back, I think the changes that they've made have been very important. I do believe that the information that's being provided is a little bit more transparent than it was before. There's still a not try and say this again. There's still not enough information for me to be able to make what I would call an educated decision on whether or not this is something that I would be willing to do. I don't know the volumes of the coins that are out there. I do not know what the potential grades for each category is. Even if you gamble and you do scratch off cards, you know approximately how many of what denomination is out there. You have a calculated risk. You know it's 1 in 4 chances of winning or breaking even. You know it's a 1 in 3 chance of gaining more than $5 on your $3 ticket, right? If you're doing a $100 ticket, you know that to win double your prize is probably 1 in 3. Now, that doesn't mean that 1 in 3 chance, it doesn't mean you buy 3 tickets, you're going to win. It just means that you understand your odds better. Now, when you're looking at this, I don't have enough information to accurately assess whether or not the odds are something that I want to take a risk at. Even playing in the casino, you understand what your odds are. Playing cards at the house, you can understand what your odds and your variability are. And there's a little bit of insight that can be used. There's a premise, there's a strategy that can be implemented when gambling, and you can't do that here. And so because of that, there's not enough information for me to determine whether or not it's something that I would be willing to do. Now, if they were to come out and they were to do a list, and again, it's there. Somebody has this list out there. The company Vaultbox themselves is going to have this. There may be something to where they list the items that are out there, and you could go to this database and you could see what's there. Now, it would be kind of like implementing, what's that show with the boxes? Where you pick the case. Let's make a deal, right? Whereas these items are found, the items get checked off this list. And the more items get checked off the list, the more value is. Or if the higher dollar items are coming on, then you get the lower dollar ones. Then the price fluctuate based off of that information. That would be a little bit more transparent. That would be something I could get along and maybe get in part of, because then I could make an educated decision on what would be out there and then say, yeah, this is something that I agree with. Or you know what? It's at the point now to where I have pretty decent odds of finding a really good coin. I'm going to go ahead and suck it up and take the chance. I'm going to go ahead and spend $300 on the opportunity to get one of the 2 remaining or the 3 remaining coins, because there's only 1,000 of them left. I would be willing to do that, right? And so, yeah, exactly, William E. That's exactly what I should be doing, fun. And again, yeah, exactly. So that's part of the premise where I was talking about the early money grab up front, right? These are things that you need to have up front. Now, I did like the fact that they also limited to 2, right? So you only could do 2. I did like the fact that they do that because it keeps a big money grab from coming up front. And it definitely helps the big money players from going in and snatching a whole bunch of these and then doing market manipulation and charging $400 or $500 to get one of these. So I am glad that they did that. But again, there's some strategies, there are some things that I would like to see them implement on their next iteration. So if anybody from VaultBox is there, Sean, if you happen to watch this, Paula, tell Sean he needs to watch the last couple minutes of this. But if you happen to watch, this is what I would suggest. Do a pick list, right? Make it public and let people know what's there. And get a really good idea, a really good insight of what it is, what the potential pool rates for the potential dollar amounts are. Now, they can update it. They don't have to update it. I think it would be cool if there was a system where they could go in and they could scan in their number, and then when they scanned it in, the system would recognize that and it would put a little check mark next to that number and say this coin was found. I think that would be really cool. And I think it would gain more interest, because as people do that, if they're debating whether or not to open it and they're seeing all the low ones getting clicked off, they may have more opportunity to sell. There's going to be an aura of excitement there, because as the lower ones get pulled, they get a little bit more bang for their buck. Now, likewise, if the top ones have been opened, they've been scanned in, it's also going to protect those who are trying, or it's going to prevent those who are scalping the items from charging exorbitant monies, because people are going to be able to look at and find out, are any of those top dollar items there? And if they're not, then the value of those is going to drop back down to where they should be, right? And so I think there are things that they can do to implement that. Well, but again, so is the list made available to the public? Because I haven't seen one. And if they have one, then I would like to see what the pick list is, because again, I haven't seen it. So if there's something there, if somebody knows where that is, then please put that link into chat, because I would love to be able to see that. I haven't been able to see one. Okay, so I don't know. This may be something where you have to get a hold of the company and find out, how many. But I would really like to see a pick list. I think that's something that they could implement. Now, again, they have been more transparent in this particular one than they were in the other ones. I think they're making positive movements in this particular realm. I do think that there are some good things coming from this. But again, I'm not telling you that I am for it. I'm not telling you, what do you mean when you're talking about a pick list? A pick list is, so when you're talking about doing trading cards, it tells you that there's so many of such a variety. It tells you that there's 40% of the cards are going to be losing $130. 30% of them are going to be losing $50. 25% of them are going to be losing, whatever. And they give you a pool percentage for a certain variety or a certain area with that, so that you know kind of what the odds of pulling a specific set of coins are. I haven't seen that. I think that's something that would be very important to have. I think that's something that they should publicly implement. Now, the checklist, it would be cool if people scanned it in. I think that would be really cool. Again, it's open to manipulation. Somebody gets a really high one, they don't want to scan it in, then it shows that it's not there. There's going to be potential for them to do that. Then, but I'm just saying it would be nice to have that. I think that if they were to do that, before I would buy one, I would want to see something. I wouldn't want to know what the potential odds for pulling in. Exactly, William. I don't need to know necessarily what the exact list is, but I want to know the odds of something that I'm going to be pulling. So, well, we only got about 5 minutes, and I always pull this discussion straight into the Premier train. So, Siren, if you could do me a favor and reach out to Will's Treasures, grab that list for his Premier video. Let's go ahead and throw that in chat. I'm going to be winding down. So just to kind of sum up a couple things, this is a discussion I think many people can have. I may do just kind of an oddball, open it back up, where I can have people come up on panel instead of me reading chat and just talking to you, which I normally do on Saturday mornings. I do this mainly to control the time so that we can get into the Premier train. I don't want to step on Mad and Miss Coin Crew and them. So I want to always be respectful and make sure that it goes into that realm. Yeah, maybe. I would like to know where the coins are. I'd like to know where the list is. If somebody has access to the list, then that would be great. Miss Coin Crew, thank you for throwing that in there. Siren, again, thank you very much. I want to be respectful of their time, so what I'd like everybody to do is to do that. I want to continue this conversation. If this is something that you want to continue, if this is a discussion you want to continue, I want to get some other people engaged. I want to get some people involved, people who have done this, people who have done different vault boxes and continue to do it. And so if this is something that you do, please make sure that you comment in this video and say, yes, let's continue this discussion. And I will reach out to Blue Ridge. I will reach out to My Not Coin Bullion. I'll reach out to Big Flip. I'll have a panel, see if I can get these folks on panel, and we'll have a discussion. If you all are familiar about this, or this is something that you want to do, then please let me know, and I will continue that. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you coming in and sharing time with me to talk about this particular item. Again, I'm not for it and I'm not against it. I just wish they would do things a little bit different to safeguard our new numismaticists and to make sure that we have a little bit more transparency into the program. You all take care of yourselves. Be blessed. Come tomorrow morning for the discussion about the hoard that's going to be going up on auction, and then a little bit about why it's a really good idea to collect numismatics. There's some good information, a couple good articles I'm going to do some commentary on. I think you'll enjoy that. So let's head over. Let's do Will's Treasures. Jump aboard the train, and we will talk with you, ladies and gentlemen, later. Thank you all for coming. Again, I appreciate you, and we will see you on the flip side.